How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 5. In the last episode, Shion began digging a little bit into the whole Oyashiro-sama's curse and the previous incidents, and starting to draw parallels between them that, to be honest, I never really drew parallels with. I didn't think there really was much to really see from it other than just some deaths. I mean, there was the whole Hojo family being a bit of a target, and really anybody who, was for the dam, sure. But this previous incident with Satoshi is very similar to the first case, in that you had somebody that was killed and somebody that disappeared right after. So, very similar case there. And now we have met Takano-san, who she's a weird person, she is, but she knows stuff, and we know this for a fact. So let's see what she has to say.
ご存知なら、おおよその見当はつくんじゃないかと。さあ、何年か遠くの全寮制の学校にいて、最近沖宮に戻ってきたとしか知らないわよ。
The fact that her name is being known just even a little bit is what's really surprising.
じゃあ想像つきますよね。私がいない間に起こった連続開始事件。私はよくわからないので調べてるんです。ちょっとした興味本位で。なるほどね。興味本位でね。
Yes. I got the impression that she knew what happened to Satoshi-kun and me, because she instantly recognized me as Shion and not Mion. I didn't know why I thought that way, as she shouldn't have access to the sources for that. For instance, she does. It was just the look in her eyes that made me think that way.
ミオさんにも聞きます。さっき私のことをお社様のたたりについて調べる同志と言いましたね。なぜたたりなんか研究してるんですか？
She likes the
そ
occult.
して連続開始事件の犠牲者は偶数人であることも言い切りましたね。Hinamizawa連続開始事件は確かに通称でお社様のたたりと呼ばれています。なぜたたりを研究すると連続開始事件にまで踏み込むことになるのですか？シオンちゃん、質問が一度に多すぎるわね。それに何が聞きたいのかややこしくて分かりにくいわ。
Yeah, she really threw a lot out there. Ooh, I couldn't say anything in return. Maybe I'd been too inquisitive, excuse me.
順に答えるわね。私が研究しているのはたたりじゃなく、もっと講義。鬼ヶ淵村の風俗史よ。平たく言えば古代Hinamizawa村の知られざる歴史、暗黒史について研究しているの。鬼ヶ淵村？鬼ヶ淵って鬼の国につながってるっていう村の奥にある底なし沼のことですか？あと知られざる歴史、暗黒史って何です？
I kept asking questions. Mio-san, however, looked pleased to hear them.
鬼ヶ淵村というのはHinamizawa村の明治以前の名前よ。
It's probably because of Takano-san that Shion became as knowledgeable as she was with when they went into that shrine.
暗黒史というのは
Or storehouse. Sorry, not shrine.
人食い鬼の歴史は
Ah, the man-eating demons, huh? And that was a fairy tale told in Hinamizawa. A long time ago, demons came out of the swamp, and while the villagers battled with them, they ended up living peacefully together. The villagers transcended and became a sacred people, having demon blood in their veins. That long-forgotten fairy tale came back to my mind vividly.
Hinamizawaに縁のある人なら誰もが知ってる当たり前の昔話よね。では、その半人半鬼の仙人たちが時に山を降り、人をさらって食らった宴の話は知っている？何の話ですか？村人たちの体に半分流れる鬼の血は、鬼は鬼でも人食い鬼の血だったって話は聞いたことない？ああ、まあそんな話もありますね。
I dodged the question. Hinamizawa used to be a desolate village, but it grew in prominence after the Second World War and expanded its influence to Okonomiya and other areas. The people who disliked and discriminated against the villagers called us man-eating demons. I remember that. The young villagers don't take it seriously, but the older people can get seriously upset about it. They certainly can't take a joke, or take it as a joke, so the term man-eating demons is forbidden. We normally never use it. Even during my rebellious phase, I never spoke those words. Mio-san, however, seemed to have no qualms with saying it out loud.
気に障った？
何がですか？
人食い鬼って単語を意味嫌う村人は多いからね。
Ah, but we're not necessarily from
気に障っ
Hinamizawa.
たなら謝るけれど。
年寄り連中は気にするらしいですけど、まあ私はそんなには気にしてませんので。それより続けてください。
ありがとう。じゃ、続けるわね。古代の村人たちにはね。そして、その食人の儀式を様式化し、さまざまなセレモニーや文化、風習を生み出したと言われている。私たちが6月のお祭りだと思っている綿流しだって、本来はちょっと早い夏祭りなんかでは断じてない。本来は犠牲者をさらい、食べるために行う食人の宴だった。彼らはね、犠牲者を高速台に縛り付け、お魚をおろす時みたいに腹綿を引きずり出してそれを川に投げ捨てたとされている。ほら、魚の腹綿って綿って言うじゃない？それが語源よ、綿流しの。
綿流し。
そうよ。お布団の綿なんかでごまかすようになったのは、私の研究では明治の頃からじゃないかと思うわね。
Well, this is stuff we all know.
まさかこの昭和の時代にそんな恐ろしいことが堂々とできるわけもないのだし。
Everything Mio-san was talking about sounded startling. I was just taken aback. I couldn't wholly believe it right away. She sensed that from my expression.
もちろん思いつきなでっち上げなんかでは断じてない。誰にも見せないって誓うなら、綿流しのあたりの研究ノートを見せてあげてもいいけれど。
Mio-san took out a notebook from her bag and flipped through it. She appeared to be doing her research thoroughly.
ありがとうございます。お借りできるものなら後でゆっくり読んでみたいと思います。
本当は閲覧厳禁の秘密ノートだけれどね。研究の同志になら特別に見せてあげてもいいわね。
Mio-san handed me the notebook a bit hesitantly. It looked like it'd take a whole night to finish reading. It was densely packed with information. I saw copies of various documents and quotes in there too. It wasn't just some delusion of hers.
一番最初にミオさんは言いましたよね。毎年の事件で一人がたたりで死に、一人が生贄にされて失踪すると。
A person is sacrificed and disappears. Satoshi-kun had gone missing. Did he become a sacrifice? What is a sacrifice anyway? Mio-san looked pleased to hear my questions again. She took out another notebook and handed it to me.
読めばわかるけど、かいつまんで話すわね。お社様のたたりとは、簡単に言えば、お社様の怒りのこと。お社様が怒ったら、罰としてたたりが起こる。それはわかるわよね。
一応わかります。ダム戦争で村に敵対した人間たちにお社様が怒り、たたりが起こったと、そう言いたいわけですよね。
そうね。でね、お社様のたたりというのは放置してはいけないの。もっともっと大きなたたりを招くからね。だから神職である古出家の歴代当主たちは、お社様のたたりがあるたびに、そのお怒りを鎮めるために生贄を捧げる必要があったの。それを生贄の儀と呼ぶみたいなんだけどね。
じゃあつまり毎年綿流しの日にお社様のたたりで一人死んで、そのたたりを鎮めるためにさらにもう一人を生贄にして殺してると、そう言うんですか？でも一人しか死んでませんよ、現実に。生贄に捧げられたなんて聞いたこともない。
死体が出ないのは当然よ。だって生贄の儀式は犠牲者を鬼ヶ淵の沼に沈めることなんだもの。あの沼は一度沈めば二度と浮き上がることはないと言われる底なしの沼。死体なんて出ようはずもない。
じゃあ毎年のもう一人の犠牲者はみんな沼の底に沈んでると？
More or less. Does that mean Satoshi-kun is also at the bottom of that dark green swamp?
さあ、本当に沼の底に沈められているかはわからないわ。でも連続事件を起こしている人たちがそれを意識して一人を消していることは間違いないと思うわね。
Each year a traitor of the village dies on the day of Watanagashi because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, and another person is sacrificed in order to pacify Oyashiro-sama's anger. That person's body will never be found because he or she is supposedly thrown into the bottomless swamp.
そう、つまりHinamizawa村連続開始事件というのは2つでセットになったもの。そしてそれを毎年繰り返すことによってダム戦争時の旧敵を毎年2人ずつ殺していけるシステムのことを指しているの。私の話は省略しすぎてるからね。多分ちょっと信じがたいとは思う。だからこそあなたに預けた研究ノートをね、内容を理解できたなら私の話がそういい加減なものでもないことがわかるはず。
I heard a man's voice just then. A middle-aged man with a hat was waving at Mio-san from the entrance.
ごめんなさい。待ち人が来たみたい。もっとゆっくり話がしたかったのに。でも機会はまだこれからもあるでしょうしね。そのノートはそれまで預けておくわね。中身をよく読んで理解できたなら私のいい話し相手になってくれるのを楽しみにしているわね。
I mean, I'll gladly read them. Information is information. And we actually read some of them back in chapter 2, I want to say. Mio-san wrapped up the conversation and headed to where the man was waiting for her. She left her old notebooks in my hand. Mio-san waved at me as she left the library with her companion. I took a seat again and opened what she'd given me. What bugged me was the series of mysterious deaths, also known as the Curse of Oyashiro-sama. Maybe I'd be able to get closer to the truth by reading these notebooks. Sorry, I wanted to get a quick drink in because I feel like we got some reading to do. If I studied them carefully, I might be able to find out who was really behind the incidents. Why did Satoshi-kun have to disappear? What was he involved in? How did that happen? Maybe Takano's notes would bring me the answer. Research notes, Mio Takano. I started flipping the pages, this time making sure that no one was watching over my shoulder. Oh boy, here we go. And we don't get to actually read them. God damn it. I guess whatever we got from chapter 2 was what she just looked through. It was time for the library to close. I had to leave. I bought some food on my way home. I shut my door and locked it right away. Then I heard the door of the neighboring apartment open. Kasai lived next door. Nobody else lived on this floor of the nearby empty apartment building anyway. I clearly heard the door open and close. Kasai must have noticed that I came home and was coming over because he wanted to talk to me. I unlocked the door and shouted out to him.
火災なの？鍵は開いてますよ。火災さんじゃないよ。
Oh,
シオン。
that voice. I twitched.
入るよ。どうぞ、おね。
The door slowly opened. My alter ego, Mion Sonozaki, appeared. She was holding a box of cake, while smiling timidly.
どうぞ上がってって言うまで玄関に突っ立ってるつもりですか？どうぞ上がって。全然可愛くない部屋で申し訳ないけどね。落ち着いた雰囲気のとこだね。
Sis looked a bit tense when entering the room. It was her first time here.
生活はどう？新しい学校はやっぱりつまらないです。一応通ってはいますけど、気分が乗らないときはサボらせてもらってます。全寮制だとなかなかそうはいかないですからね。セール中はやっぱり辛かったか。チェ、お姉も一度閉じ込められてみろってんです。ごめんごめん。ケーキ買ってきたからさ、食べよ。
Mion opened the box. I saw two cheesecakes in there, excuse me. We have the same taste in food, so we don't have to fight if we get 2 of the same thing. I chatted with her over the cheesecake. I talked to her about school and whatnot.
必要な家具とかがあったら言ってね。融通できるかもしれないから。
Honestly, I think we're okay.
この部屋にもようやく馴染んできたとこだけど、近いうちに引き払うかもしれないから、家具はノーサンキューです。うちのお父さんが、沖宮に住むつもりなら戻ってこいってうるさいんですよ。お父さんに会いたくないんだけど、かといって逆らうのも怖いしな。お父さんも、シオンがいなくなって寂しそうだったから、なんだかんだ言っても帰ってきたら喜ぶと思うよ。人事だと思って。
Come to think of it, this was the first time I talked to Sis since I was allowed to live as Shion Sonozaki. She didn't look like how she was at the Sonozaki house that day. The successor of the Sonozaki family and my twin sister are 2 different people. The demon lives inside the leader of the Sonozakis. Our bodies are exactly the same except for the tattoo of a demon on her back. Mion's destiny as the successor was set in stone when she got that tattoo. It's pretty simple. The Mion from last night was different from the Mion before me. When I was forced to tear off my fingernails, I'd momentarily despised her. But if I were the next leader of the family, I'd have done the same.
シオン、爪は治った？
Non-existent?
もうすっかり傷口は塞がったからね。最近は目立つのがかえって嫌なんで、包帯みたいなのもしてないです。でもまだだいぶいびつでね。あまり人には見せられないかな。
I sneered at her, displaying my incomplete fingernails. Mion grew quiet and looked down.
謝らなくていいよ。ミオンだって、あそこは仕方なかったんだからさ。
Yeah, if she tried to defend us, like, it would just create a whole bunch of other issues in the, internal portion of things.
次期当主の役割を演じただけ。恨んじゃいないから。ごめんね。オッケー。その謝罪で私は全部チャラにした。でも、もう一度謝ったらそれは取り消し。一生許さないよ。何それ。お姉は一度謝りモードに入るとなかなか抜けられない悪い癖がありますからね。私の方で区切らないとキリがないんです。本当に許してくれるの？サトシとのことも。
My heart ached when she mentioned his name. It felt just like the ache of an old wound.
シオンがサトシのことを好きなのはもちろん知ってたんだよ。あれだけ大勢の前で熱愛宣言しちゃいましたからね。なんだか今更恥ずかしくもなんともないや。でもバッチャはあれで本当にけじめがついたと思ってるんだよ。シオンがちゃんと自分でけじめをつけてみせたから。
Oh shit.
それで全部終わりって。そうでなきゃ困ります。あれだけ痛い思いしたんですから。サトシどこに行ったんだろうね。
I started choking when I heard her say that. I just said it to her myself. I said that I'd forgiven her completely, but that promise instantly evaporated. Just because of what she said, I felt like I'd turned into a completely different person. What did you just say, Mion? Did you say, I wonder where Satoshi-kun disappeared to? Who else could know other than you and your folks? What did you say? Where did he go? I felt my eyeballs reddening in anger. It felt as though they were about to pop. I choked on a burning sensation in my throat. Mion's expression rapidly changed. It looked like she noticed the devil's mask on my face. We were one and the same. We could understand each other's thoughts without voicing them, excuse me. So showing our expressions was like unveiling everything in our hearts to the other.
ごめん。
Even though I told her not to apologize anymore, Mion apologized. I felt like strangling her, alright. I was going to make her confess where she'd hid Satoshi-kun. If she told me she threw him into the Onigafuji swamp, I'd strangle her to death right then and there.
サトシのことは本当に知らないの。
That's a lie.
本当、バッチャだって何も知らない。本当なの。
Wait, are we actually strangling her?
嘘だ。じゃあ本当にお社様のたたりで鬼隠しにあったとでも言うつもりなのか。 たたりなんてあるもんか、たたりなんてあるもんか。
Words kept coming out of my mouth, like I was chanting a spell. I wasn't speaking by my own will anymore. It was the demon who was controlling me. The demon that'd been sleeping deep inside me woke up and was speaking through my mouth. My hands, the demon's hands grabbed Mion by the neck.
お前たちがサトシ君を鬼隠しにしたんだ。お前たちその酒本家が、お前たちが返して、私のサトシ君を返して。
Jesus Christ. My hand slowly but surely squeezed Mion's neck. Mion put her hands onto mine. I looked at her fingers. Three of the fingernails on her left hand looked as ugly as mine.
ミオン、これはどうしたの?
Tears rolled down her cheeks. She didn't have to answer. She had the same scars as I did. She atoned as well. The way those wounds were healing looked the same as mine. So, did she get these wounds around the same time as I did?
シオンだけが爪を剥がされるなんてかわいそうすぎるんだもん。
Mion started sobbing. I stood there petrified, still wringing Mion's neck.
シオンがね、サトシのことを好きだって分かって、私シオンとサトシに幸せになってほしかったんだよ。だってシオンばっかりいつもかわいそうで、私たちは同じ双子なのに、なんでシオンばっかりいつも差別され。
You done? It didn't come as a surprise to me that Mion might also have loved Satoshi-kun as I did. We've always liked the same stuff and even the same people. She was stupid enough to feel obligated towards someone like me.
私ね、ばっちゃにね、怒鳴って言ったんだよ。シオンとサトシをそっとしてあげてほしいって。そしたら、けじめをつけたら見逃そうという話になって。だからね、ちゃんとシオンが頑張ったから。なのに、サトシいなくなっちゃった。こんなのひどいよね。
What if there's another party at play here? Like a third party, you know, Oyashiro-sama curse doer that's just here, helping out, but not like in communication with the Sonozakis. What if that's the case? Mion isn't smart enough to shed crocodile tears. Those tears were real. Her tears dissolved my demon's anger just like how the sun melts ice.
信じて、シオン。本当にサトシがどうしていなくなってしまったのか。園崎家とかバッチャとか、本当にそういうのは何も関わってないの。バッチャはシオンのけじめで全てを許した。だからサトシに何かするなんて絶対にないの。ミオン、苦しかった。
I took my hands off her neck and held her instead.
苦しくなんかないよ。シオンはもっともっと苦しかったんだよね。
I shouted at the demon in my mind. I believed in Mion. I had been convinced it was the Sonozaki family that made Satoshi-kun disappear, but Mion denied it, while shedding tears. Between her and me, her tears are more convincing than any words, so I'd believed in her. It absolutely wasn't the Sonozaki family that made him disappear. So do you really think that Satoshi-kun disappeared because of Oyashiro-sama's curse? I don't believe in curses, and Mion didn't do it. If it wasn't the curse or the Sonozaki family who demoned him away, I don't know. I just know it's not Mion. It's not the Sonozaki family because Mion says so. That's stupid, Shion. Are you going to ignore Satoshi-kun's voice? I know. You don't have to remind me, demon. I can hear his voice. I know he's mumbling with an ambivalent expression, like he always used to do, even though he knows help won't come. I'll help him no matter what. I'll save him if he's alive. I'll avenge him if he's dead. But Mion didn't do it. You just want to take it out on somebody. It doesn't matter who. But I'm Shion, not a demon. You're only a part of me. Don't try to take control. Fuck off, wow. Don't ever show up again. Damn, this is the hollow that we have inside. The demon faded away. My body went limp and I fell to the floor while holding Mion.
シオン、大丈夫？もう大丈夫だよ、ミオン。
I'm really happy that everyone in this fucking series seems to have like a special power.
私たちはどうしてミオンとシオンなんだろうね。どうして同じ一人であってはいけないんだろうね。やめなよ。私たちはもう何度もそれを自問してきたよ。でも答えなんか出ない。現実に私とあなたはミオンとシオン。それが現実。私ね、自分がミオンでもシオンでも、私たちは私たち、公平な関係でいたいのに。
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happening.
仕方がないよ。ミオンの背中には鬼が宿ってる。闘志を継ぐ定めが宿ってる。それは仕方がない。私、嫌だ。鬼なんかいらない。鬼なんかいらない。私は鬼じゃない。鬼じゃない。同じ人間なのがいい。
Yeah, let's get that lasered off then. Mion is a demon and Shion is a human. Even though we're twins, there's a difference between us. Was it impossible for humans to live with demons after all? It should be possible, because they did it before. That's the legend of Hinamizawa. Humans and demons lived in harmony together, as Oyashiro-sama watched over them. Mion, Shion, Satoshi-kun. Demons, humans, Oyashiro-sama's curse, the series of mysterious deaths, Satoshi-kun's disappearance. We fell asleep while holding each other, while holding everything. Again, not really sure what it is with like everybody having some sort of special power. Mion apparently having all these, you know, different sides to her, many that are, you know, fucking insane and murderous. Rena with whatever Oyashiro-sama cravings that she has. Payment is the achievement we just received with a bloody hand. Wonder why. I don't know what Sodako's power is. Rika, I don't really know for sure either, but we've seen some weird shit from her. Keiichi apparently has the ability to like slow down time and apparently have out-of-body experiences and some shit. I don't know, he's like a jack of all trades. And now Shion apparently has like a bleach hollow deep inside her. She can holify and shit. Alright, let's view our tips, and I guess we'll call it an episode here. This one will be short, for various reasons. Notebook, page 50. I saw Mio Takano a few times after that. At her core, she was fascinated with the bizarre, and she had an insatiable curiosity that was just as strong. I have to remind myself not to take her story too seriously. Otherwise, I might start believing that Satoshi-kun disappeared because of the curse. She talks about the dark history of Hinamizawa a lot. It's all very interesting. Her theories are based on nothing but conjecture, but some of her intuition covers facts that only members of the Sonozaki family would know. She thinks that Oyashiro-sama's curse is the continuation of these ancient rituals. In other words, she believes that the curse is performed by religious fanatics. According to her theory, a religious cult once existed in Hinamizawa, and the three families stemmed from it. She believes that they are operating behind the scenes in order to revive the dignity of the Onigafuchi people, which was lost during the Meiji era. Mio-san's theories are far-reaching, and looking at them on a larger scale, they end up making a lot of sense. But they can't offer any explanation for Satoshi-kun's disappearance when using them on a smaller one. Her theories are just too broad. But they are interesting. Page 64. I exchanged information with Ueshi every now and then. We'd each expect new leads from each other, but neither of us had any luck. I no longer believed the tip that Satoshi-kun might have headed to Tokyo. It was clearly bogus anyway. Although I can't befriend Ueshi, he's been fair about the deal. He alone has been serious about uncovering any new information. Ueshi's sources are quite reliable, so whenever I found some dubious tip, I'd check with him and see if it was valid. My meetings with him have diminished in frequency since he's been assigned to new cases. Eventually, we stopped meeting entirely. Ueshi stopped investigating, and I reached the limits of my sources of information. People now think that Satoshi-kun's disappearance was a supernatural phenomenon called demoning away. In Hinamizawa, they refer to his disappearance as him having transferred, and nobody will talk about it otherwise. I don't like the way that phrase is used to erase him. Yeah, that's all matching up with how things are in the present time. Page 85. During the upheaval surrounding Oyashiro-sama's curse in 1982, I was pulled this way and that by new leads on Satoshi-kun's disappearance. Every time I found information that looked promising, I kept changing my theories. But that also became an incredible burden on me. It wore me down plenty on its own. The fatigue was harsh, but it also provided a very kind acceptance. Bit by bit, it soothed away the anger, sadness, and doubt that wore me down. I'll never forget Satoshi-kun. I'll never try and forget him and move on. I constantly repeated those to myself in my head. I repeated them to keep my memories of Satoshi-kun from fading too, over and over. For the sake of my fun memories of Satoshi-kun, together with my fear and my sadness, I repeated them forever and ever. Which also matches up with how Shion thinks in the present day. Alright, let's jump into the next one and we'll just save it. I feel like we've, oh, hey.
淡くて儚いシャボン玉のような恋心。空を望めば、やがて壊れて消えるように、少女の思いは、虚しく叶わなかった。流した涙は、血の色となって生贄を求め、口をついた悲しみは、怒りとなって殺意を生み出してゆく。
Murder.
純粋すぎる黒は、すべてを飲み込んで、闇を広げる。やがては、自分自身さえも。メアカシ。
Oh, that's how you pronounce the name of this chapter.
生まれてこなければ
I
よ
didn't
かった
know.
のか。血みどろの手は、虚空すらつかめなかった。
1983. I think we're coming up on present time. The fourth year of the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, also known as Oyashiro-sama's curse 1 year after... Okay, 1 year later, okay. God damn it, I was tripping over my shit. Alrighty, so... I guess we're coming up on present time-ish? I guess there just wasn't anything else to really gain from the past. Which is fine, I'm glad that we got to experience a little bit of the time before Keiichi arrived, but I think that's what's coming up next. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong, but I don't know what else would come up. Once Keiichi arrives, that's kind of when shit starts hitting the fan, you know? Alrighty, well, I think we'll be getting into the thick of it now, because after we hear Rena's voice, or whoever the hell that was this time around, that usually means, alright, it's time to get real. If we hadn't already, because a lot of that was not slice of life, like the usual, alright, first few hours, that'll be slice of life, and then we move on to the, you know, murder and all that. But thank you all for watching this episode. Keeping this one a little shorter than I had originally planned because I'm doing a live recording session of this on YouTube, and I accidentally effed up some of the settings, so I don't want to do too long of a session for that, for the archived video of the stream, for members and such, and plus I might continue doing this a little bit more often, I don't know, But yeah, I kind of fucked that up. So I don't want this to be too long. And also, I'm kind of tired. Like it's still like afternoon-ish, but I'm just kind of tired. But I'll probably get another one of these sessions going this weekend, so I'm like good to go and have made quite a bit of progress. So thank you all for watching this episode. It was kind of interesting. I got to see that weird side of Shion that I didn't know existed. And I guess we'll see what happens now that we have gone a little bit into the future. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching this one, by the way. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more. I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.